Welcome to part 3 of the Engrammatic Eclipse event. The Oasis we found was unexpected to everyone, but the professor has never let his head down, even for a moment. After all, the benefit of finding nothing is the ability to build it up exactly as one desires. Part 8. Reflection on one's path. The notes carved into the depths of my soul cannot become a song without your score. I said that when I went to the dormitory to find the professor, next day there was a strange smell. Is it you, Miss Sangoma? Oh, don't be so serious. I'm just supervising him to rest on time and sleep well, okay? Right? That's true. But don't do that anymore. I won't be able to rest if you hold me in your arms. Oh, is that right? But when I woke up, you slept very smoothly. Yeah? No, not really. Oh god, this is an uncomfortable situation. Not only was he sleeping soundly, but he was also talking in his sleep. Like, Sangoma, don't leave me, and so on. Wait, this is definitely fake. Persicalia, calm down. Don't drop the knife. He approaches very warily. After some mediation, the two finally calm down. The professor is right. Time is running out. Let's continue reminiscing. However, I still hope that you can ensure the authenticity of the narrative and do not take this opportunity to instill false memories into the professor, Miss Sangoma. If I could really instill memories, things would be much easier. Sangoma sighed quietly. No matter what kind of narrative, all I can achieve is to inspire. The judgment of whatever it is true or false has always been in the hands of his. And I believe that after listening to all this, you can make the most correct choice. This sentence seems to have a profound meaning. Sangoma is good at directing the words she really wants to convey with lies and jokes. If you want to know the hidden parts, you may have to wait properly for her to reveal the answer. I looked into Sangoma's eyes and nodded. Then she slightly bent her eyes and looked at the glowing fragment of memory. It seemed that the memory has been recovered. Well, the debris situation has stabilized. With the help of instruments, the next step may be to try spontaneous information repair. Can you try to think of some subsequential memories yourself, Professor? It feels that there are indeed some clues, but it is like a mess, and you need to find the thread first. So, take a look at this. Basically, pulled out a file with only a few lines of dates and corresponding text. This is your past work memo. I found it from the recycle bin. The attack by the identifiers cost us a lot of storage information, but I thought there might be something left that could help restore your memory. Although these are all there are, they may become threads of your memories. Well done, Persicaria. I took the terminal from Persicaria. Looking in those records, although they should have been written by me, they feel strange. I tried to think back, and all the emotions from the past floated into my brain, along with the pain. Those keywords are pieced together into a picture, gradually bringing back memories of the past. 10.9. Zenbox barrier. Hide coordinates plus defend and combat system. October 9. Oasis commands room. Even it's not anymore operating room, it's commands room. Operating room, I mean. Access permission for the Zenbox barrier. While I was typing on the keyboard to handle my work, a pair of hands gently covered my eyes from behind. Guess who I am? No need to guess, right? At this time, the only one who will appear in the commands room, besides Persicalia, is you. I was guessed right away. You came just in time. I encountered some problems when setting up the Zenbox barrier. You should know how to deal with it. Where? Let me see. If that's the problem. She held my hand and guided me through the terminal. Watch out, I will teach you how to operate it myself. No, you don't have to do it with your own hands. Although the method was a bit unique, under her guidance, the problem of the Zenbox barrier was quickly solved. So that's how it works. Thank you for your help, Sangoma. Just a small thing. You have set up the Zenbox barrier so perfectly in such a short period of time. It's amazing. Thanks to the effort of Persicalia and Grog, and the lack of interference from the centifiers in the process, it was able to go smoothly. It must be because the operation of hiding the Oasis coordinates worked. It's more than that. Should I say you have bad luck? Better luck? You should have noticed it too, right? From the time you arrived at the Oasis, your operations have been going very smoothly, with almost no interference from the centifiers. I thought it was because you were helping me. So, that is not the case? Although I'm glad that you think of me so much, I'm not omnipotent, right? In fact, I'm indeed monitoring the centifiers' movement, especially when you activated the Oasis and made such a big noise. It stands to reason that the centifiers would definitely notice it. I'm even ready for a fight. Also prepared means of escape in advance, but in the end nothing seemed to be happened. Well, my observation is that it happened that the centifiers patrol route did not include the Oasis that day, and the patrols before that were normal. Not only that, after the Oasis was activated, they have not been interfered by the centifiers, and even the number of centifiers near the Oasis is pitiful. But logically speaking, even if the coordinates of the sector are hidden, the centifiers will patrol it as a null value area. I think she means zero value. Zero area. Not to mention large-scale battles. Small frictions are definitely inevitable. Those worries are not happened, and they have allowed the Oasis to develop until now. Apart from your good luck, I cannot think of any other more reasonable explanation. She sighed softly and played with the ornaments on the table. Do you think there is a possibility that the centifiers deliberately circumvent it? I have also taken this situation into consideration, but no matter what, we cannot find a reason for them to do so. Is Oasis already putting the strings behind? Forget it. Stop worrying about those assumptions. Although it may indeed be a bit too conventional, it is certainly the best if it goes as smoothly as it is. And we cannot take this lightly. Just in case, it is better to put the constructions of the Oasis defense and combat system on the agents as soon as possible. You are really cautious, but that's not a bad thing. What do you want to do? It just so happened that I'm still free, and now it's extra after-school tutoring time. Onka. New dual mental test. List. Compilation. Optimize search terminal. Put improvements. October 13, Oasis operating room. Sangoma appeared out of nowhere and tidied up the command room for Mia. An innocent bag of bread was suddenly placed on their neat and simple table. Oh, this is dry bread? Ah, don't throw it away. That's what I'm going to have for lunch after. Is it what you have for lunch? Oh, it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you having lunch at this time? This is the first time I have seen you so angry. You can still laugh. A balanced diet is very important for a human being. It doesn't matter if you stay up late or have an irregular schedule. If your nutrition cannot keep up, your body will collapse soon. Don't look at how young you are now. Hey, don't laugh. I'm very serious. Alas, the food in the Oasis is so bad. I thought that if we were Sicaria and the child names Sandoleshi were here, they would definitely be able to take good care of you. Okay, who is Sandoleshi? It's Centaurus. Centaurus, right. Just that I missed the time and don't want to trouble anyone. And they all have their own things to be busy with, so I can just deal with them casually. Alas, if you just say something, the children will rush to bring you food. No way. Luckily I brought this. This? Sangoma puts away the bag of bread and mysteriously took out a box of something from behind and placed it on the table. That's Sangoma's special lunch. The dinner that was originally prepared for you can only be shown in advance now. There's a lot of carrots and ginger in it, which will definitely help you refile fatigue. You are welcome then. Even though I really want to say this, I still have work to do. Thank you for your thoughtfulness, Sangoma. Just put it in the first, and I will eat it when I'm done. Oh, no. You lose track of time as soon as you start working, and by the time you finish working on these meals, they will left on cooldown. I have to supervise you to finish it one bite at a time. Come on, open your mouth. Wait, just wait a minute, I can eat it by myself. She's spoiling us. She's very dangerous. However, there was no room for rejection in the purple-haired doll's smile. As a last resort, I could only open my mouth and accept her feeding. Tasty. As long as you like it, I will make it for you more next time. Now the Oasis is building in all aspects, and your efforts can be seen just from the increase in the number of people. However, since there are so many people, let others share your work. Don't do it alone. If you are so busy that you forget to eat, it will be bad. I didn't expect that I would also be lectured one day. Don't worry, I just accidentally forgot today. Everyone can help with optimizing the search terminal and finding dolls. Because Persicalia is here, it becomes much easier to check the identity of the dolls and confirm the backgrounds. In this oasis, there are probably many people who work harder than me. Everyone is working hard for this home. Of course, thank you for your help too. Your guidance is very important and has stayed us a lot of the tour. Am I just in the added thank you list? That's all. I can also formally express my gratitude to you now. Okay, I'm just kidding. It actually makes me happy to see the oasis so thriving. Now that there are so many dolls by your side, even if I'm not around, I don't have to worry about you anymore. Absent means... It means when I'm not with you. After all, I have other things to do, such as hiding and observing the movements of the centifiers. Of course, I will also hide and observe you. So make sure you have a good schedule, eat well, and promise me, okay? Okay. Do I still need to pull the hook? Old-fashioned dolls like us believe in this. Professor, are you here? I have some work that I want to confirm with you. But for the sake of someone's coming, I will let you go this time. Lunchbox, don't forget to eat it. The Sanctifier's Trends. Oasis Peripheral Environment Investigation. Establish diplomatic relation between sectors. November 15. Null value error. 0 something value. Wait a minute. This one. Area that contains no data are known as null area in Magracia. November 15. Null area. In this way, we have basically figured out the environment outside the oasis. Let's go back and meet Persicaria. Sangoma, when did you come? Are you shocked? I'm here to remind you, already very late, it's time to go back and rest. Sleeping late is not good for your health. Well, I'm just about to go back and rest. You came so late, do you plan to rest in my dormitory again? Wouldn't it be better to ask... I think it's Centaurus here to get another quilt. No, I'm just passing by and will leave soon. You are actually working so late. Did you make any special discoveries? I just figured out the surrounding sector distribution and terrain conditions. In addition, it can be regarded as confirming the previous conjecture. Previous conjecture? It does seem like the centifiers are deliberately avoiding this area. However, we don't know the situation before the oasis was activated, so we cannot tell whether there is something special about this area or whether we have done something unusual inadvertently. Regardless, my gut tells me this is a necessary good thing. I don't think you need to be pessimistic, right? After all, there are other more important things to do at the moment, rather than aimlessly guessing at the centifiers' motives that may not exist. It is better to focus on achieving their primary goal as soon as possible. Indeed, we still need to collect as many resources as possible and retrieve the dolls participating in the Project Neuro Cloud as soon as possible. What are you going to do? Understanding the surrounding terrain is also to facilitate the movement of the field team. In addition, field manpower must also be deployed. Sangoma shook her head. Those alone are not enough. I have a suggestion. Have you considered establishing diplomatic relationship with the other sectors? Sangoma held the bamboo head and looked into the distance, where there seemed to be an vague outline of a building. It was extremely cold in the air zone at night, and even the air had a beating smell. I couldn't help but wrap up my white cloth tightly. Indeed, I have considered such a plan, but the current Oasis still lacks combat power. Rushing to communicate with other sectors may bring many unnecessary risks. You must be cautious before taking action. And on the other hand, I don't know whether it is right to interfere with the lives of the indigenous people here. It would be best if the status quo of peace can be maintained. But in fact, democracy has already entered an abnormality here and is far away from peace. I waited for Sangoma's next word, but she didn't say any more and just looked back at me. You seem to value peace. Is it related to your past experience? Well, in terms of past experience, most of the time, I just kept running around in the laboratory doing experiments until I was responsible for the Project Neural Cloud. That's a great lie. I tried to recall Professor Elita's resume that I had seen. However, no place in the world we live in has been spared from the traces of war. Even the splendid upper-class balls have ruins and collapses under their feet. From this perspective, the cloud we live in may be regarded as an pure land. Really? That's really bad. If reality is as dirty as you describe, why do you still want to bring the dolls back to reality? Are you testing my resolve? Maybe so. No matter how dirty the world is, full of blood and pain, there's always something that will catch you and make you think back to countless similar moments and smile. People may live by those moments. For example, I still remember the taste of military rations. Soldier food? Is it delicious? In fact, I cannot remember the specific taste. Compressed biscuit mixed with rain, soil and blood should not be considered delicious. But that was food handed over by the companions after a battle, because it has been in my arms for so long. It still has body temperature. Because I was too hungry to taste the taste, I swallowed the rough texture together with the joy of survival and the truth entrusted me. This is not what actually professors do in the labs. I think. That scene still appears in my dream. I think that for those dolls who want to return to reality, this should be such a bond. In a dream? How enviable. Sangoma narrowed her eyes, as if trying to see clearly the scene I described. But soon as if she realized that there was only nothingness around her, she withdrew her gaze with some disappointment and looked at me again. If you can go to reality, take me to taste the taste you mentioned. I promise you. Getting my answer, Sangoma showed a satisfied smile on her face and then waved to me. Soon, and Figa disappears into the darkness. Do we really make it to reality? Girlfriend 2 is out, but I feel like that everything that happened in Magracia will be just lost. All of these promises makes such a great impact when we actually did not manage it. Well, the professor, or like the commander, is actually out, but who knows? Part 9. Fragrance by your side. An evanescent sand sparks ashes of memories, and every ripple is dyed in your shade. Collect resources. Pay attention to the Sanctifier's movement. Area sector. Okay, this is our nodes, as far as I understood. December the 3rd. Oasis command room, operating room. Are you preparing to go out into the field? Well, the Sanctifier's patrol routes have changed, and many field routes that were previously confirmed to be safe can no longer be used. Now that the material reserved have been affected, a new route must be confirmed as soon as possible. The Sanctifier's actions have indeed become more frequent recently, which always feels very worrying. We were thankful to our good luck before, but it seems that our luck has almost run out. Don't say that. It was just an unintentional self-deprecation, but Sangoma turned out to be unexpectedly serious. Your field investigation will be safe and smooth. Where are you going to investigate? Although I cannot accompany you, I may be able to provide some information. There seems to be resources near the Perial sector, and I plan to go check them out with Sol and the others. But apart from the relatively small size of that sector, we still know nothing about what is going on there. By the way, I'm not sure which sectors they actually mean because of the name issues. What do we have? Paradise. That's the only sector that starts with P. So, Perite sector. A private sector that belongs to an artist. It's used for storing artwork digitally. And this sector is exactly when, well, the actual story starts. Or like, the actual issue starts. Is it near the sector? Sangoma thought as I'd circle the markers on the map. There may be resources you need in these places, so pay more attention when passing by. I didn't expect you to know about the Perea sector. Again? How do you sector? Paradise sector. Anyway, thank you for the information, Sangoma. This is the only level of help I can provide. Just like you said, the Sanctifiers, they change frequently and their whereabouts are unpredictable. There's a possibility of encountering them head-on at the time. Have you brought the sachet I gave you before? Well, I always carry it with me. That's good. If you are in danger, remember to set me a distress signal through it, and I will rush to your side as soon as possible. Yeah, I understand. Seeing my serious expression, the purple-haired figure returned to its usual smile and came to me. Okay, don't be so nervous. I have prepared dinner for you. Remember to come back early to eat. By the way, to lighten the mood, let's play a little questioning and answer game. You should still remember what kind of flowers are in the sachet, right? I remember you said it was lilac, the same time as the sachet that you are wearing. That's right. So the next question, Do you know the flower language of lilac? As far as I know, flowers should have a lot of meaning, right? If I remember correctly, the flower language of lilac is... You actually remember it? Shh. This is not time to reveal the answer yet. You know what? It is time to Google for it yet. Okay, maybe not. I will not Google it. You will reveal it to me. Fragrance of Lilac. I believe that the smart you are will be able to find the one that I really want to convey among the many flower languages. But I will tell you this answer after you return safely. It's not the Oasis. It is just null area, okay. Warning, abnormal agent detected. According to the agreement, begin the annihilation procedure. Ah, it's true. Why would you meet a sanctifier in a place like this? Obviously not even a hair of the sanctifiers could have been in this area before. It seems that this area has also been included in their patrol territory, and this information must be uploaded to everyone's in the others. At this time, don't think about those who prioritize escaping. Sol pushed me away and blocked the attack from the sanctifiers with her sword. Professor, did you have any good plans? There are not many people on the opposite side, and now there's plenty of countermeasures. I don't have any objection to standing the fight here directly. No, forget it. I believe you on strike, but no, we have to complete the goal of this collection. There is no need to conflict with them here. In other words, are you trying to escape and retreat? I'm familiar with this. Watch the trick. The sharp sword light shattered the ground with one blow, raising dust and blurring the opponent's vision. Very good, this should be able to hold them off for a while. Professor, where should we escape? Sol, let's run away separately. Huh? Wait a minute, Professor, you don't have the ability to fight the sanctifiers. Who will protect you if you separate from me so rashly? Judging from the current situation, this is the solution with the high success rate. We are both carrying supplies right now. If we run away together, we will be overtaken by them soon. Oh, I understand the logic, but... As for combat capabilities, you don't have to worry about that. I thought there's a sachet in my arms. I also have a secret weapon. I can use it if necessary. Huh? I don't understand what you mean. Don't ask so many questions now. Your deception is about to expire. So prepare to treat and meet at this coordinates point later. We should have successfully gotten rid of them. Luckily, there are not many of them. I looked back and made sure it was safe before letting out a long sigh of relief. Are you okay? Oh, it turns out to be Sangoma. At some point, a familiar purple-haired human figure quietly appeared behind me. Yeah, I'm fine. Where did you come? I should have never called you for help. I was too worried about you, so I followed you quietly. It's good to see you okay. You asked me not to be nervous and relaxed, but I ended up being so worried. Don't worry, I'm not injured. I'm going to meet Sol now. Now I have a more attractive proposal. She's very manipulative, isn't it right? Now that you are here, why don't you go there and and have a look. As if in response to her call, the huge dark city emerged from the hiding place of the wind and sand, welcoming the two strangers like us. Paradise sector. I didn't expect to run so close to it. There should be a lot of operants stored in Paradise, which can also be urgent need of the Oasis. I think that since I cannot figure out the Sanctifier's movement from the time being, it's time to make a new attempt. Shall we go and see it together? If you encounter danger, I will cover your retreat. Obtaining resources from the other sectors is indeed an idea. However, let's forget it this time. This time, the field team found a new resource point, which was enough to supply for a period of times. Moreover, I also want to rendezvous with Sol as soon as possible and go back to find out the reason for the abnormal movement of the Sanctifiers. Alright, but I think that if we want to establish communication with the other sectors in the future, Paradise should be a good choice. It seems someone is coming. Then we will see you later. Before I could continue to ask, Sangoma figure disappears into the wind and sand again. Professor! Professor! Oh, are you okay? It's okay, Sol. Are you not injured? Although they were a bit difficult to deal with, I finally managed to deal with them. Professor, who are you talking just now? No, you hit it wrong. Go home, Sol. To Oasis. Huh? Talk to her. December 16, Oasis command room, operating room. Sometimes when I look at the current Oasis, I really feel a little sad. Why did you suddenly express such emotions? Like an elderly person. This is what an old-fashioned figure like me are like. I just feel like the Oasis has developed to this day in a blink of an eye. Oh, time flies. Not only that, I sometimes have similar feelings when I look at you. Yeah? You see, you stay up late much less recently, and the work documents on your desk are not as messy as before. Not only that, even 3 meals have become regular and normal, and my complexion is much better than before. I would not have noticed this even if you didn't tell me. That's of course because I have been paying attention to you. She got up from her chair and walked around my seat to the window. It is both gratifying and lonely to see you mature a little bit like this. Maybe it is also time? Sangoma didn't say it anymore, just turned around and looked quietly at the Oasis outside the window. Sangoma, I have something to talk to you about. Huh? What's wrong? You're so serious all of a sudden? I know that you still hide many secrets and have your own position. But I actually don't mind that. I just want to tell you, in the Oasis, about your existence and let them know the contribution you have made to the Oasis secretly. Anyway, I don't want you to exist just in the shadow. I extend my hand to the person in front of me and extend an invitation. Are you willing to join the Oasis and stay with me? Professor, you are really mean-spirited. She didn't take my hand, but shook her head. However, I cannot accept your invitation right now. If possible, can you tell me the reason? One day you will know. Speaking of this, the purple-haired doll smiled. However, I'm still very happy that you extend the invitation to me. I have been looking forward to today since the first time I came to the Oasis. Although I cannot promise you, I have already made the corresponding awareness. She suddenly came close and whispered into my ear, and the familiar fragrance of lilac wafted quietly. If one day I go against your path and stand in the way you are and everyone in the others, I think then, please stay. What? Opening your eyes, the images in their dream became reality. Huh? You woke up? What did happen? Do we have to fight you? Sangoma? It seems that you remember me. Judging from your expression, are you dreaming about something related to me? What? I stood up from her lap pillow. Not far away, the regenerative fragments emanate light, gradually filling in the gaps in the memory. Oh, we just woke up from the memories. Okay. Really, I don't know exactly what I recalled. The purple-haired doll looked at the fragment and seemed to be caught up in the past memories. Professor, are you awake? Basically, I saw that I was awake and rushed over, holding a thick stack of information in her hands. Basically, I was shocked when she saw you suddenly faint, and she blamed myself for whatever there was a flaw in my theory that caused your coma. She has been staying by your side until she saw that your condition was stable. Then she introduced you to me and hurriedly went next door to look for information. Oh my, it would be great if everyone in Organization N would care so much about me. And with all those localization issues, I'm asking myself, is Organization N actually Organization N, or we will just... Are there any organizations here? Guardians? Well, not sure. Who knows? Miss Sangoma, you didn't do anything secretly while the professor was unconscious, right? Is there any? Don't worry, Pesigaria. Sangoma won't do that. I held Pesigaria's somewhat cold hand and at the same time gave Sangoma my trust. Your approach works well, Pesigaria. I did remember a lot of things. And there's nothing wrong with my body now. Ah, that's good. However, the more memories I recall, the more I understand and question Sangoma. Sangoma, can you answer a question for me? Okay, you can ask anything you want. Can you please tell me honestly? That day. What happened on the day when the Oasis was attacked? Part 10. Skyward Signal. This trap is skillfully designed. Just a single spark can ignite the entire mountainside. December 23rd. Engineer Bureau Office. Is there a meeting of the Engineer Bureau next? I happen to have some free time, so let's adjust the data of the sandbox barrier. Having said that, I have not seen Sangoma much in the past few days. Before I even stepped into the office, I noticed that someone has already arrived before me. At this time, the office should not have been booked yet. Is it Sangoma? Things are doing well, boss. Everything I can do has been done. Exactly what you said. Maybe it's time to leave. My heart was slightly shaken. At the right time, the wind blew up the third curtain, Sangoma turned around, and I bumped into her slightly red eyes. You? Sangoma was stunned for a moment, turned around, and hastily interrupted the communication at hand. Sangoma, you... I was about to ask, but she quickly adjusted her mood and smiled at me. Oh, eavesdropping is a not good habit, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I hope my presence did not disturb your call. Just kidding. I'm just chatting about trivial matters, don't worry. The meeting should be a while away. Why are you here so early? The previous job ended early. Are you waiting for me? Maybe. It's actually nothing special. I just want to see you. She straightened her hair, leaned against the wall, and looked out of the window. Sangoma, if you have anything to say, No, I have to think about it again. The room was silent for a moment. Seeing that she seems unwilling to say more, I signed and walked to the terminal and checked the data. Did she answer our question or not? The sanctifier strands have changed recently. Yeah, the number and configuration change almost every 5 days, and the scope of patrols gradually expands. Those sudden anomalies are really unsettling. However, the function of hiding coordinates works normally, so they should not have discovered it. Well, you still have to be prepared though. But wait, why are we even hiding from sanctifiers? Aren't we in peace right now? I have activated the combat module at the Oasis and monitor the movement of the peripheral sanctifiers at all times. It also allows the field team led by Rook to call back in advance. In addition, I also strengthened the sandbox barrier according to your previous suggestion and redistributed the force of defense. Even if the sanctifier launches an attack, Oasis should be able to withstand it for a while with its current strength. Yeah, but... Whoa! Wait, is it attack happening in the past or is it attack happening now? The sudden explosion shook the earth, and the earth possibly blocked the conversation room between the two of us. In an instant, the red warning light buzzed, and the floor of the office began to break and tilt. Okay, this is probably what happened in the past. It's just the same room. I was shocked by the room. I know high energy calculus attack detected. Warning, the sandbox barrier is now 23% damaged. Warning, the sandbox barrier now is 23% damaged. The ground defense system lost 50%. The air defense system lost 37%. Sangoma and I look at each other. While I tend to repair the sandbox barrier, she quickly took over the Oasis surveillance access to investigate. Someone has launched an attack on the Oasis. The source of the attack is the sanctifiers. How could it be? The function of hiding coordinates is still functioning normally. They should not have discovered the Oasis. The speed in which the sandbox barrier was destroyed was also abnormal. I retrieved images of area at sea, which was the most severely affected. I hurriedly operate the keyboard and project the information on the Sangoma's monitor onto the screen. The originally indestructible sandbox barrier was torn open. An astonishing number of centifiers poured in from the cracks in the barrier, destroying everything inside. Screams and gunshots continue through the cameras. Those are... Oh, the sandbox barrier has been breached! The centifiers are coming! According to their agreement, begin the annihilation procedure. Hit to Area B. That site has not been destroyed by the centifiers yet. Hurry up! Professor, it's the professor's voice! Here we go! As if predicting my plan, a new round of artillery fire destroys the road leading to Area B, killing their remaining hope of escape. Damn it! I will send people to support you now. For that, you should find a place to hide. Okay. Let's just... The next second, the bombardment of artillery fires interrupted the signal of the communication circuit, leaving only their dull screams lingering in the ears. Their signals disappeared. The scope of the destruction is still growing. We must comment from the overall situation. I see. The sound of running came from the corridor, from far to near. Sangoma glances at me worriedly and hid her figure before the owner of the voice arrived. Persicaria? Professor, are you okay? The door to the room was pushed open violently and Persicaria hurried towards me to confirm my safety. I'm fine. The engineer bureau has not been greatly affected. What is the situation in the other places? Oh, you're fine. The centifiers are obviously well prepared, and they are taking key buildings in the Oasis. There should be a commander behind them, and they also have information about the Oasis. Sol is located in the outer ring of the Oasis and is organizing a team of resisting the centifiers, but... Persicaria connected the Sol's communicator. Sol, how is the situation over there? Although I really want to answer you, it's okay, but now it seems a bit reluctant. We are trying our best to delay the reinforcements of the centifiers, but we are very different in terms of numbers and combat power, and it is difficult to stop their advance. The fix for the sandbox barrier is already in progress. Reinforcements of the centifiers can be kept out as long as the repair process is complete. I need you to buy me time. How long will it take? 10 minutes? Another powerful operant attacked directly hit the building, and the ceiling about overhead suddenly shattered and turned into countless falling rocks. Professor! I'm fine. The pain and bleeding on my body are obviously not something I can just ignore, but there's no time left for me to treat them now. Warning, the sandbox barrier has been disconnected and entered offline mode. Did those guys notice the barrier repair and launch an attack here? Now we are in trouble. Sol, you lead the team in the area at sea to retreat to the central ring first. Huh? Within the middle ring, in the core areas of the Oasis. Use the terrain and weapons there to fight against them. Combat teams in other areas rely on the remaining sandbox barriers to prevent centifiers from invading from other directions. The top priority now is to conserve calculations and concentrate all available combat power. It is very convenient that this professor is very good at military tactics. I'm asking myself if the real professor, how would he handle the situation? Understood. Sol nodded and hung up the communicator, and the engineer bureau office returned to their beeping of the alarm. The scene outside the window looks like the end of the world. The endless artillery attacks from the outside easily turned the Oasis we worked so hard to build into ruins. I will treat you first. I have just conveyed your instructions to the rest of the combat teams. But according to the current situation, let alone stopping the centifiers, even delaying time, it seems that we must return to the headquarters to save the situation of the war. The command headquarters controls the core combat and defense system of the Oasis. It must be at least ensure the normal operation of the core system in order to direct everyone to defend and counterattack based on the overall situation. But the headquarters is now the main target of the centifiers. You should not have taken the risk going to the command post with their concentrated long-range fire suppression. I must go. You cannot give up at the most critical moment, and this battle must have a commander. Endless artillery fires continues to attack their devastating Oasis, and the ground and my feet once again shattered and trampled due to the intensity artillery fire attacks. It is too dangerous for you to go alone. At least let me go with you. No, you have somewhere better to be, Persicalia. You are only one of their duels with a command module. During the time when I go to the headquarters, you have to take on the responsibility of commanding everyone. Persicalia, I will leave the task of arranging the front lines in Oasis Center to you. No, someone has to keep you safe. Trust me, Persicalia. I have my own methods. We have our own guardian angel in the shadows. I will tell you the overall technical plan through the communication. If I encounter danger along the way, I will ask you for help as soon as possible. I grabbed her shoulder and tried to dispel her uneasiness. I promise you, I will come back safely, and the others will be able to weather the storm. The sound of war outside the window urged her to make a decision. Persicalia bit her lower lip and took my hand. I see. I'm going to support everyone on the front lines. You promised me that you would come back safely. I will never break my promise. After Persicalia's footsteps moved away, Sangoma's figure emerged from the darkness. Is there any other way? Can do it? You are enough. Alright, since you say so, I will not betray your trust. She summoned the giant scythe and held it in her hands, then slowly came to my side. However, it is just you and me. It's been such a long time. Do you want to hide behind me this time? Oh my god. So this is the what happened when the others got attacked. But this is not really when we woke up, right? Maybe it is, I don't know. Nevertheless, Wintering Pass, Stage 2. Ryan Frost perseveres as Blade thinks, slaking thirst with blood. And here's the woman of the show. So I didn't have the chance to play with her. She's teleport, base, stealth, crit, physical damage. Yeah. We hear a little bit of her voice too. She looks like she has OE attacks. And she's also blushing. Just cute and terrifying at the same time. I will leave this stage entirely. Okay, we use the ultimate in the boss fight. Any melee functions? Hello? Okay, let's watch the ultimate. Please select an empty time. I'm not sure what she did, but that smile at the end looked terrifying too. Alternatively, fire continues to fall along the way, and the Oasis that has been built with great efforts in the past was reduced to ruins in the devastation. According to the protocol, begin the annihilation process. It's time to go to bed. Sangoma swept the giant sight in her hands, accurately slashing the Sanctifier's core and causing him to fall. Unexpectedly, this rod was also damaged by them. There's only one last way left to try. Can you still walk? I'm fine. Sangoma, are you okay? Those injuries on your body? Just a minor injury. Oh, this is the last. Sangoma puts away her sight to hide and survey the surrounding area. There's a lot of Sanctifiers here. I don't know how they bypassed their central defense. It seems the situation on the front line is not optimistic either. At least the main front and central can be maintained. But we are indeed running out of time. Then it seems that the only way to break through is head on. At the end of the road, several Sanctifiers were wandering underneath the headquarters building. This quantity is a bit tricky. After all, in this case, the method of deleting the mind cannot be used. I fight with you. It's okay. I said I will protect you. The purple haired doll signaled me to hide and stood up from behind the ruins, alone with the giant sight. Start the annihilation process. Oh my. Can the Sanctifier say something else? We didn't meet, by the way, their commander, and I'm asking who will it be this time. For example, crying out pain or something like that. Before they could react, Sangoma has already cut one of the Sanctifiers in half. She had a giant sight and tried to rush forward to attack again, but was quickly forced back by successive gunfire. Huh? The giant scythe that could be wielded freely before was unable to take advantage due to their narrow road. At that moment, when their opponent's power has almost exhausted, the purple-haired doll could only use it to parry and barely defend. Sangoma! Oh, think you can stop me like this? Sangoma suddenly retracted her side and gave up her defense, springing outwards quickly, letting the bullets pass through her body and take away the red count. Despite constant stares, she abandoned the giant side and used her only opponents to regain her original speed advance in battle. She kept jumping up and dodging, relying on the wall to bend back and forth in the small space, and was behind the other party in an instant. Now it's over. The giant scythe sound from the air easily spilled open the opponent's defense with the blessing of gravity, and together with their bodies, they turned into cooperation and disappeared in the thin air. Seeing that their danger was eliminated, the giant scythe, god of death, swayed and slowly sat down, leaning on the corner. There's no problem now. Sangoma, your sacrificial attack just now was too dangerous. If something went wrong, you will have not only one who fought there now. I didn't expect that one day I could be lectured by you. After all, there's no extra operants, and they will continue to be consumed. So please forgive me. She gently touches my face, as if to relax my throat. However, seeing your expression like this makes it worth it even if it hurts. Let's go. The commands room is at the entry ahead. She used the giant scythe to support her body and barely stood up, and with my help, we came to the commands room together. This place has long been difficult to organize under the attack of artillery fire. The damaged circuits emitted bursts of scorch, and the red areas on the shattered screen kept flashing various illegible warnings. I came to the dim operation panel, check the current situation of the Oasis. Hey, how is the situation? Can it be still used? The core system is still complete. Just carry out repairs and reformats immediately, and then call the combat and defense system according to the current battle situation. I set up the system while checking the overall situation of the Oasis, and tried to conduct overall commands. However, at this moment, the ground beneath our feet was crumbling, and the harsh buzzing sound against along with the sound of artillery fire. Warning, high energy calculus attack detected. Warning, high energy operants attack detected. Danger! Sangoma pushed me away. Before I could react, the heavy ceiling hit me directly and tore the roof of the building into pieces in an instant. The lanyard of the sachet broke, and the herbs inside were scattered in the air. The smell of lilac was covered up by the smoke of dust. As the gravel fell, my eyes went dark. When I opened my eyes, the human figure that has just pushed me away was pressed under me by the collapsed border, and the red operants stained the surrounding grave like blood. Sangoma! Sangoma! Lend me a sickle. 1, 2. I used it as a lever and tried to peel away the stone that was pressing on the purple-haired figure. Sangoma! Sangoma! Sangoma, wake up! Oh my god. Professor. It's me, I'm here. She gently touched my hand with a pleased smile on her face. Great, as long as you are not hurt. At this time, take care of yourself first. The part under the rock was severely damaged, and the large area of blood was soaking, and the burning gravel cut open her body. I will do it in the future. But okay, I will protect you. How are things going at the Oasis? The core system of the command center. She struggles to get up and change the topic out of the concern for the current situation of the others. The screen went dark, and all my operation seems to be lost in the ocean. All core systems, including the combat modules and defense modules, are offline. And we are still a step too late. Oh, Oasis really cannot get some slack off. Or will someone, probably who knows if it's Professor, save the day this time. Even the communicator was down. I could not contact Persicalia or know what was going on elsewhere. The increasingly violent Remo at this headquarters and the artillery fire outside the window can already make us imagine the tragic situation of the Oasis. It would be dangerous to stay here. Although I'm very reluctant, I must now find a way to find the remaining people and notify everyone to evacuate. No, there is a last resort. What? The last method? Despite the chaotic situation and environment, I felt that my voice was unusually calm. Connect my mind to the Oasis system and forcefully activate the combat and defense modules. Time is running out. Sangoma, can you help me? Are you crazy? The huge flow of information that keeps the entire Oasis running is simply not something your mind can handle. The moment you connect to the system, your consciousness will be torn apart by endless data. It can only be lost between zeros and one forever. And it is impossible to find the key to start it. Even if you are at the present situation now, you cannot die in vain. I'm a human being, and my mental capacity exceeds that of an average doll, so I have the chance to do it. I remember Penumbra did something similar. Even if your mind is melted down like this, and you can never wake up again? Even so, I have to do this. As long as it succeeds, the others will still have a glimmer of hope. I turned to look at the screen. The face reflected in the broken glass was familiar, yet unfamiliar. After all, I am everyone's professor. Part 11. Moths in Darkness. The long night brings despair, and a gnarled hand shelters the last remaining glint of light in the darkness. After all, I am everyone's professor. This is the moment when Professor's saving the day. You say this with a smile on your face once again, just like when we first met. Therefore, even if my consciousness is lost, even if my mind is melted, I will use my remaining feint to restart the Oasis system. I have the confidence that I can do this. On the other hand, I will leave it to you from now on, Sangoma. I don't understand you. What I mean is, if I cannot come back, I hope you can protect everyone in my behalf. He smiled slightly and turned around to operate the terminal panel. I have handed over the operation authority of the Oasis to you. Why leaving it to me? You are the one who built the Oasis with me, and you know how to operate most of the systems here, even without my assistance. If I encounter danger and never return, it will be up to you to implement the follow-up plan. You know what to do. Are you going to die? Have you forgotten your promise to Persicalia to return safely? Those prospects from the Oasis and the promise to invite me to join the Oasis? You're going to break your promise? Sorry. I don't want to hear your apology. I just want you to come back safely and fulfill your promise. If I lost you, all my efforts will be meaningless. You are the only professor at the Oasis, and no one can take your place. Sangoma, I will leave it to you next. For the first time, he did not answer me directly. He lay down slowly, and as his consciousness connected to the Oasis, his eyes gradually became blurred. How willful of you. I know that once you make up your mind, no one can stop you. The command room was shaking constantly, and there was gunfire outside the window, but it was eerily quiet inside. The space was gloomy, as if the end of the world has arrived. I held his hand and watched as his mind was connected to the system. The screen on the console gradually lit up, bringing the only light of this small space. Red warning kept popping up as the turbulence flows of data surged. His brows continued to frown, and his expression became more and more painful. I promise you that I would protect you. So this time, even if you insist on taking a death end, I will protect you until the end. I connected my mind to his, followed the path he took, and entered the core system of the Oasis bit by bit. When I opened my eyes, I was already in the sea of data, composed of zeros and ones. The area, as far as the eyes can see, has been flooded with information, and darkness has become the main color of this world. Countless data are wandering and flickering around me. The tiny personal consciousness is like the drop of water entering the Oasis. It is pulled and diluted before it was time to cause riddles, and it belongs to one particle in this huge consciousness. But I wasn't in the center of the storm yet, and I still remember my purpose: to find him as quickly as possible. Where are you? Professor! Professor! I shouted as I faced the storm, until a glimmer of light appears in the lonely darkness, and even the turbulence of data around me slowed down. It keeps changing its shape, as if it has lost itself. But I know it is him. Professor, or whatever name you chose. I stretched out my hand towards the light and slowly embraced the light into my arms. I am... That's right. Remember your name and don't lose yourself. Need to repair the data. That was the core system. He breaks from my arms and head toward the center of the storm again. The huge pressure of data is tearing him apart, but he is absorbing the data like a subconsciousness, searching for, repairing, and then giving them their due mission again. System repair degree 87%. After all, I'm everyone's professor. Therefore, even if my consciousness is lost, even if my mind is melted, I will use my remaining faith to restart the Oasis system. I have the confidence that I can do this. Amazing. You really did it. Good boy. You have worked very hard. Just leave the rest to me. I gently protected the light, letting his damaged consciousness fall into a deep sleep, no longer being washed away by the turbulence flow of data. Okay, let me complete the next repair and restart. It is that all that left. I should be able to suppress it just as a human. I reached into the core of the Oasis, trying to deal with the last stream of data. But this process was far more difficult than I imagined. The electronic around me were restless and soon turned into an invisible storm that enveloped me. Although it is very painful, it is still within the bearable range. 88%. 89%. Very good. If we continue like this... Before I could react, a red warning quickly occupied the entire space. The data flowing around is no longer as soft as when it was preceded by him. Running like sharp knives, they quickly joined together and exerted heavily pressure on my mind. Have you ever been under such pressure before? But there is still the last 10% off. With no time to care about the pain in my body, I carefully protected the sleeping professor, continuing to maintain the connection and try to suppress the remaining data flow. Seeing that I didn't give up, those storms swept towards me more violently. Do you want to prevent being suppressed by swallowing me? Very effective method, but I won't let him be taken away by you. I can let you bite and devour my insignificant life. I did not stop the operation and still choose to speed up the data transmission despite the severe pain. 93%, 94%, just like the last bit. But the defense system of the Oasis seemed to be a joke. When I increased the computing power of processing data, the processor's bar did not advance, but retreated. 93? Why? Why did you retreat instead? Dark Shadow? Who's there? The black figure flashed past, and after he disappeared, Data launched a tenacious resistance as if under control. No matter how much I control it, their disordered Data still resists like a ferocious beast, unwilling to obey my orders at all. If it continues... Oh, something got broken. With just a moment of distraction, the barrier I built broke through, the shattered under the heavy pressure, and the influx of huge amount of data pushed my consciousness deep into the bottom. When I opened my eyes again, the data around me shattered into countless lenses, reflecting my face in them. Who are you? There are 3 dolls. I stepped towards to observe carefully. The clothes and expression on me in the fragments are all different, as if I existed separate from different planes of time and space. Are those all me? Oh my god, there's 4 Sangoma Story now. The shard didn't answer. When I was hesitating and thinking, they pulled me in. From a drop of liqueur squeezed out of a dropper to the morning dew on the leaves, then to a puddle of water bumped onto the battlefield. The ancient earl flows out of the doll's body, the spilled medicine in the laboratory. Is it supposed to be a rhyme? Which one is me? What am I? You are not supposed to have consciousness. You are just a tool. But I remember that I have a mission and my own wishes. Forget about them. Now, you're just the smallest unit in the huge body of consciousness. What you should do is to integrate with us. No. I should still remember. I should have something to do. Those voices from my mind are getting louder and louder. The more I try to deny them, the more hesitant I felt. In the end, I could no longer distinguish between my position and right from wrong. I could only keep repeating denial in an attempt to maintain my remaining self and allow the darkness around me to slowly swallow me up. Sangoma! Bits of light emerged from my arms and blocked my face. The light dimmer, the reflection in the mirror. Yes, I am Sangoma. I regained myself and turned my gaze into the figure in front of me. You? How did you wake up? It should be because I am protected by you. I didn't accept you to be connected to the system. However, no, it is not the time to talk about this. The writing data must be suppressed first. Since one person cannot handle the turbulent flow of data, let's pull the strength out of the 2 of us. Sangoma, will you help me? Certainly, I'm honored. The 10 fingers collapsed together, and gentle light broke free from the mire, and together they fought against the darkness in front of them. In the hurricane, it almost completely lost its form, but still held my hand tightly. Please, rely on me more. Your consciousness. It's okay, we will be fine. There are still many things I want to ask you when this is all over. I still don't know your purpose or the identity of the boss you spoke about. More importantly, I still don't know what kind of doll you really are. I'll improve the operation of my mind by a few points and use my human body to suppress the erosion of the data store. So, let's go back together, Sangoma. Come with me back to the Oasis we created together. If I can really go back smoothly. 98% left. Let me walk with you with the remaining 2%. I grit my teeth, ignoring the alarm sound in my ears and the consciousness of permanent mental damage, and deactivating the safety procedure. Overload limit cancelled. As the final reflection were lifted, my mind was completely exposed. The huge flow of data, allowing them to erode each ground of modules. Warning: severe overload, decreased mental integrity. The sensory system is irreversibly damaged. The haptic module is damaged. The smell module is offline. Alarm sound emerges from the various parts of the body are endless. Countless data bites into the mind, trying to force us to give up with bone-chilling pain. 99%! Just a little closer! The danger has been forgotten, and only one belief of returning to the Oasis kept us gritting our teeth and persisting. Let's end it! The next second, everything in the space felt silent. The last black slowly dissipates in the explosion, marking our victory. When I woke up, the cost of pain of facing the data flow instantly returned to my body. No matter how hard I blinked, the blue in my vision didn't go away. The control of my hands and feet also became sluggish, and every moment awoke invisible phantom pain. What's even worse is that my olfactory module seems to have completely lost its function. Even in the fire scene surrounded by gunpowder smoke, all I could feel was blank. But there's no time to take care of this now. And more importantly, Asa, did you see it? We succeeded! The Oasis system returned to online status, and the command module was successfully restarted. Next... Professor. The only answer was his closed eyes. A bad premonition emerged from my heart. I shrugged to get up and crawled to his side, check his mind. Why is there still so much data floating around? If this continues, the mental module will... Those chaotic data are merged within his mental data without distinguishing each other. The excess data is oppressing his self-awareness. As the mind becomes overloaded, his breathing becomes weaker and weaker, and his vital signs gradually disappear. It was obvious that we finally restarted the system and came out together. No, there must be a way to save him. However, all the treatments I could think of were of no use to the current situation. I could only watch him struggle in pain and feel my own powerlessness. Think about it. Think about it. There should be other way to prevent his mind from being melted down due to overload. If only the data could be deleted. By the way, maybe it can be like deleting the core data of the sanctifiers. The words spun out suddenly brought inspiration. I quickly checked the data at hand and initiated a communicator, trying to grasp this last glimmer of hope. Boss, things look very bad here, but I won't ask any more questions. What do you need me to do, Sangoma? I told her everything what happened. No, he's in pain because his mind cannot handle the huge amount of data, and emergency treatment is necessary. He taught me how to delete the sanctifier's core data, so I was wondering if the same operation could help him. We can do this with the lower sanctifiers because we have the corresponding permission to control their data. Can you control his mental data? I just checked, and because of their previous mental connection, the data flow in his mind is currently mixed with parts that belongs to me. Although you cannot control unordered data, you can still control the part about me. So I want to help him get rid of the huge amount of information in his brain by deleting common data. That's right. However, for the human brain, it is more appropriate to describe it as destruction or removal than deletion. She pondered for a moment and then slowly opened her mouth. Fuck. The method you mentioned can theoretically help him process huge amount of data. But are you really ready to pay the corresponding price? A cost? In my mind, I remember the image of the sanctifier raising his gun to identify him and then putting it down. After repeating it back and forth several times, finally chose to turn around and leave. What did you do to that sanctifier? To put it simply, some memory data in its core is deleted. It used some small means to delete the cognitive content about you and me, and simulated physical defect to prevent it from continuing to read and write that module. In this way, even if it recognizes our existence, it will get stuck at the step of thinking about our identity and fall back to the step of cognitive recognition. Using the human memory analogy, it is similar to a permanent cognitive impairment. Well, that's pretty much the principle. The human brain and mind store information differently. At the moment, your minds are mixed. If you really press the delete button, it means that your existence will be completely erased from his memory. That makes a lot of sense now. Not only that, the parts of his memory module related to you will be permanently damaged and cannot be read or written. Your appearance, voice, and even existence will disappear and will no longer be remembered by you. Is this really good? This is really cruel. But it's great. If this price can save him, then it's really good deal. Yeah, I understand. I have sent the specific operation methods. Cherish your last moments, Sangoma. The communication ended, and the huge operating room became quiet again. What about the last moment? You are so evil, boss. However, since I originally planned to say goodbye to you after finishing everything, There's no difference. But true enough, I still feel reluctant to part with it. I can help you. However, how will you repay me after everything is done? Is there anything you want? I will satisfy you as much as possible. I haven't thought about it yet. I will let you have the credits for now, and I will ask you for it when I think of it. Okay, I promise you. No. Should I take what I want? Yes, it belongs only to me. The only and most important thing. The hand holding the delete key is shaking. When it's all over, you will completely forget about me, right? Delete. Whatever it is, happy memories or quarrels, they will all be forgotten by you, right? Delete. However, there's nothing we can do about it. Delete. You should have noticed it, right? In fact, I'm a bit greedy woman. Delete. Obviously, at the beginning I just wanted to help you. But gradually, I want you to remember me more. Like making me more important in your heart. Delete. Maybe after all this is over, I will still pretend to be casual and pass you by on a street corner. Create a romantic encounter, and then turn around and leave. Delete. It is okay for me to be willful like this, right? Anyway, no matter how many times we meet, you will forget me soon. Delete. But delete. If at a certain moment you can recall my existence, recall that this was someone who was by your side. Delete. By then, what expression will appear on your face? Delete. Complete. My head hurts. Where am I? By the way, I want to activate the combat module of the Oasis, so I have to hurry up. Oh. Don't worry, Oasis combat modules is already online, and everyone is using to fight it, the sanctifiers now. This is all due to you. If it indeed, as you said, the combat module was resumed work, so you can rest assured. However, there is still a problem. I turn to look at her in front of me. Who are you? A small look of surprise crossed her face. I see. Should we start from here? The purple-haired doll in front of me smiled. It's our first meeting, Professor. I am Sangoma. However, it doesn't matter if you cannot remember it. Afterwards, we will definitely meet again. Rapid footsteps came from the other side of the road. Professor! Professor! Where are you? The pink hair figure shrugs. Oh my god! We are now at the beginning of the game. The pink hair figure struggles to settle between the collapsed houses, searching anxiously while praying for the safety of this important person. There it is. The purple shadow suddenly appears and stretched out my hands to indicate the direction to Persicalia. her hand. Who are you? The pink hair dolls immediately controlled her consciousness and become alert. But when she blinked again, the purple shadow has disappeared, as if what just happened has never happened. Strange. She hesitated for a moment, but quickly put aside her doubts and runs toward the direction shown by the shadow. Professor! Professor! In the dilapidated room, the person she was looking for was lying on the ground. Professor, wake up! Consciousness is stable. Professor, are you okay? I'm fine. However, it seems they have forgotten what happened a few moments ago. Months ago? It looks like your memory data is still a little messed up, but we don't have time to complete any further fixes. Oasis was suddenly attacked, including the combat modules. All systems in the Oasis were severely damaged, and all were offline. Persicale's narration continues, but the purple-haired figure at the corner knew that the most dangerous moment has passed, and the most precious memories has ended. When the life or death of the Oasis is at stake, we will obey your orders and fight with all our strength. Professor, please, give the orders. This is literally the beginning of the game. This is how you start, by the way. I see. Let's go. Watching Persicale and him turn the bay and leave, the purple-haired figure understood that maybe it was time for her to leave. There she is. Wait, Persicale? Do you smell something? Smell? Are you alright? There's a sweet smell in the air. I often smelled this aroma around you before. Was it coming from something that the professor was carrying around you? What's the matter, Professor? Any questions? Persicale, I always feel like I have forgotten something important. Important things? However, no matter how much I think about it, I cannot remember it. It was like having an unforgettable dream. When I open my eyes, although I forgot the content of the dream, I still miss the beauty. Professor. But I know now is not the time for being immersed in the afterglow of dreams. Everyone at the Oasis is still waiting for us. Persicale, I leave the auxiliary command of the battle to you. Okay. What make me happy for nothing? However, as long as Persicale is with you, I can live without worries. At least, you must always remember my taste. Farewell, my most familiar stranger. And this is how they parted ways. Man, why it's so tragic and so beautiful at the same time. Every main story chapter of this game is so nice. It doesn't really feel like it feels more like a snip out of a masterpiece. Just way too similar for what I experienced or read before, but in a different way, you know? There's an idea, a very beautiful and romantic idea, but a complete different setting. Well, I think that is where this episode or part 3 ends. Probably I will even name it Memories. So I thank you for watching and listening. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and see you in Memory 4. Oh, is memory a good word for it? Not sure. Take care.